Let's go get our hair done down at the Chatterbox.
Mr. Anthony will love to fucking hump your face.
Could you imagine going to a salon and there is a man in obnoxiously tight jeans gyrating behind you? Sign me the fuck up.
I was just going to say, and you're upset.
Yeah, I was like, sign me up. Where is the salon? I want to go to it.
It's in New York.
Sign me up. I'll fucking go to New York and get humped on by a dude in tight jeans.
All right, I'll see you soon.
Welcome, everyone, to Hot Mess Moments.
So hot. Such a mess. Such a moment.
I fucking hate every time you do it. It's good. Hello, everyone. My name is
Did you see that yesterday in your chat? You were talking about the merch that you no longer sell. And I was like, girl, I've got merch. It's going to be our logo, Hot Mess Moments. But on the back, it's going to say, so hot, such a mess.
Such a that's a great piece of merch.
Come on.
Or it just says it in like small little print right here on the titty.
right where the areola would be.
Such a moment. And then it has like the flame logo on the back. I would love that. Love that. If you want that merch, make sure it never happens because we definitely don't have enough people. We definitely don't have enough people watching this to afford it. But tell your friends.
Every person who watches this tells a friend,
tells 10
and
people.
Also orders a piece of merch, then it's worth it.
It might be worth it. It might be worth it. No. Hello, everyone. Welcome on in. My name is Dylan Zahner, also known as 8-Bit Dylan, and Lost is my favorite show, but I've never seen The Nanny before.
And I'm Beth Dixon, also known as Augusta Wind 11, all over the place on my social media. And The Nanny is my all-time favorite show, but I've never seen Lost before. And today, we're covering 3 whole episodes, one of which we're going to spend not that much time on.
I've got theories.
Oh, God. Could you imagine if I built it up to be like, wait until you see, like, what show do you think this
Chatterbox? Chatterbox. It's revolutionary.
Could you imagine if that like was if you like were watching this, I was watching you watch the episode and all of a sudden you're like, and then come to find out the Chatterbox is like a huge like lore thing in Lost.
It could be. It's funny. You know what's really funny is there is a Chatterbox-esque episode or 2 in season 3 of Lost, but it was never intended to be a spin-off. But it feels very much like a very strange spin-off episode.
Is it as painful to watch as this one is?
It is so bad, it's good. Like, no, okay. It is. Like, at the time, people watching it hated it. And everyone that's a Lost fan knows exactly the episode I'm talking about. It ended up getting a cult following afterward. And people are actually pissed off what happens in the episode, and they wish that there was a little bit of more of that. I disagree. I am not in that camp.
There's not a single person who is pissed that the Chatterbox ever didn't get made. There's not a single cult follower.
So normally we would go in and talk about like how our days are going, but because we are covering 3 episodes and this is the season 2 finale, I think we should get right into it because
I agree. Can I just share one piece of news?
Oh, please, yes. Oh my God, yes. The good news. Y'all are, tell them.
Bitches, I'm going to be singing at Carnegie Hall this fucking spring.
Yes! We love success.
I'm gagged. I sent this audition in. The next day, I noticed there were 2 views on it because I had it unlisted on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they emailed me the next day and they were like, "Hey, we loved your audition. We'd love to welcome you to this this choral series for this week." So it's a really short kind of thing, right? So I'm going to be sent the music ahead of time. I have to learn my parts and all that kind of stuff ahead of time. So I'll teach it to myself. And then it's basically like a workshop series. Ooh. So we get 2 half-day rehearsals and then just the concert.
Oh my God, that's stressful.
I'm stoked. I am so stoked. And I have no idea how many people are going to be there. And for those that actually are like choral people or love more like, I guess, classical music, the composer is Eric Whitacre, who is my all-time favorite modern composer, and he is conducting.
That's so exciting.
So we're singing his songs. He's conducting. And oh, yeah, I'm just doing it at Carnegie Hall. No big deal.
That's insane. That's like definitely like a bucket list item off the list. Like singing at Carnegie Hall. Like,
how do you get to Carnegie Hall?
Ooh.
Practice. Darling, do you know what I've done? Lots of practice.
I'm just so proud of you. It's going to be so exciting.
Thank you.
Do you know like the exact details of when the concert will be yet?
Yes, the concert is going to be May 31st, so 2022. I don't know. I know it's going to be in the evening. I don't know the specific time yet. And I know that tickets are not on sale yet. So if anybody is interested in coming, you're more than welcome to do so.
Oh my God. Hot mess moments. Like you could meet Beth at Carnegie Hall.
Mm-hmm. Oh, bitch. Get into this. Okay. So here's the other thing, right? So it's not like I'm a part of a professional choir, right? And even if you were, like, if you book Carnegie Hall, like, nobody's singing there for free. Y'all have to like pay to be there. So I had to pay to be in this choir, right?
Yeah.
And it was a pretty penny. It was a lot of money. But for me, it was like, I got to do this. If they accept me in, like, let's do it. So part of the price of like going to Carnegie Hall to perform for Eric Whitacre with Eric Whitacre is I go to a gala afterwards.
Oh, okay.
So I have to figure this out because like my parents are going to come down. My brother and my sister-in-law are already like stoked. I'm sure I'm going to have family. I know that our good friend Tyler and his partner Tim want to come.
That's
and like
so
there's
exciting.
all these people who want to come, and then I'm going to be like, yeah, but I got to go to a gala now.
Sorry. Have fun. Bye, biatch. Like,
so I'm just really excited. So
I'm not saying you're a big deal, but I am kind of saying you're a big deal now.
Could you imagine? Like,
she's better. She's too good for hot mess moments. She's like, unless we're filming this in Carnegie Hall, it's beneath me.
Unless I pay too much money, I don't want to be a part of it.
Hey, if you want to pay me too much money in order to film this podcast, I will gladly accept. Gladly accept.
You know what's been working for me? Not paying you a damn thing, making you watch my favorite show.
That's true. That's true.
So let's get into that.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's do that. I'm going to rely on you to say the episode names, but it is time for us to cover season 2. Episodes
24, 25, and 26.
AKA the finale.
So the first episode is Strange Bedfellows. The second episode is The Chatterbox.
Iconic.
And the third episode is Fran Gets Mugged.
She was there. That's how she became the nanny.
We're fucking stupid. Okay, for behind the scenes factoid about us is when we say the names of the episodes, we have a pausing period for when we edit it. We know like when to insert the nanny, and so we just started making faces at each other. It's so stupid.
The best part. Okay, so let's also pull back the curtain a little bit more here.
Yeah.
Dylan and I have had terrible headaches all day.
Oh my God. The worst.
And I sat here for the past hour and a half or whatever. It's been feeling a little better. I've been like distracted. I've watched The Nanny. I'm feeling better. It's my comfort show. I'm watching it with my friend.
Yeah.
We start talking, have a good time. I start crossing my eyes at you and my head's like, girl, what the fuck do you think you're doing? And this piercing like, just came back. I was like, So
yeah, your head's like, get the fuck out of here.
Bitch, what the fuck are you
what
doing?
the fuck?
Ugh.
Okay, so first episode.
You like Mr. Anthony hits that photo, which we actually don't see. But
we'll get to the chatterbox. I have theories. I have actual theories.
I can't
have
wait.
Actual theories. And it's not like cute theories. It's like ways that I think Chatterbox actually could have worked as a show.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So let's talk about Strange Bedfellows, which is
Yes.
episode 24, which in my opinion should be the season 2 finale.
Also the best episode out of the 3 of them.
Hands down. Like it's
Yes.
so good. To me, I think it's like this is what I think of when I think of The Nanny. It's that level of like comedy and such. So that's why
It's
I'm like
so
happy.
good.
But regardless, what were your thoughts? What is your rating for the episode?
Yeah. I would rate this episode a 9.5 out of 10.
Ooh, okay.
I wouldn't give it a full 10 only because it's predictable. I think like if they had thrown a few more curveballs, I think it would have been more interesting. But that's like the tiniest little gripe.
Yeah.
Because overall, this is a phenomenal episode. I'm gonna say my MVP right off the bat
Okay.
for both this episode and the actual episode is Niles.
Oh,
These
okay.
are Niles.
Episode? What do you mean?
Not Chatterbox. We are not acknowledging Chatterbox.
Well, you were
She
like
is
both
not
this
real.
episode and the actual episode. And I was like,
Yeah. The actual finale. Niles, hands down, is killing it at the end of season 2. He is so good at showing emotions with his face, character acting. His little body movements in the background are so funny. Like he is stealing every scene that he is in. For me, that 10 out of 10. I think Niles took no pun intended the cake on these last 2 actual episodes of The Nanny outside of the spinoff episode. I could not stop laughing every time he was on camera.
He also he's loosening up a bit, so it's not just upright like butler dude. Like it's he obviously is the butler and he's still but like they're using that as a facade, as a joke only like when he's talking to Mr. Sheffield. Like his guard is coming down a little bit, which I think that's really important. And the Niles that you see in season 6 is built off of this Niles right here.
Oh, for sure.
There's a transformation and journey that I'm excited because I actually, Niles is great. Obviously, like he's a funny character, but like he gets just so juicy and funny, like moving forward.
I also like it that they've turned Niles into the audience. Like he is the character for the audience. Obviously, the rest of the household is stupid and doesn't get what's going on, but Niles clearly does. And like he speaks to the audience without speaking to the audience because he has these self monologues to himself. And I love that they have positioned his character in that way. Outside of being a really gross, sexist kind of man pig, fucking cum slut, bitch, fuck. No, I'm just kidding. No, he does not like that. That's face. I love that they've transitioned him from that into like literally the avatar of the audience.
Yeah.
Which I think they needed for his character. And I think it's why he gets MVP for me for both these episodes.
I think that's really super fair. He not only has good one-liners, his one-liners are still really good. They're less predictable than they were. Like, so like, even if you know a zinger is coming, it's less predictable to know what the zinger is going to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's so quick too. It's not, he doesn't let it linger. And a lot of the time I like it because his motivations are clear.
Yeah.
He just wants to fuck over Cece because of the way Cece treats
I thought
him.
you were going to say he just wants to fuck Cece.
He just
I'm
wants
like,
to
what
fuck Cece.
show are you watching?
That was the Chatterbox, baby. No. He just wants to fuck over Cece, and that is a great part of his character, but is not the only part of his character, which is what my fear was midway through season 2. Was I was like, is this all we're going to get from Niles? Is he just going to shit on Cece the entire time? We learned that's not always the case. He shits on everyone. And he also is the avatar of the audience. So he's
especially when it comes to this whole Fran and Max dynamic. This isn't new that he's like tuned into something that, and clearly in Strange Bedfellows, Fran is very tuned into like, wow, do you think that like, whatever happens to Mona is going to happen to her? And like, she asks her immediately, don't you think like maybe he's going to ask you to marry you or something like that?
Yeah.
And like, she's like, no. And so even Fran knows that that's like what she would like. But when she's confronted, like, there's just like, it's just like not there. And he's just like, he gets to be that audience member. So I think that that's really great. I think Strange Bedfellows as a finale just makes so much more sense. I wish, especially after the Fran gets mugged episode, where we see the two of them call each other by their first name and they're holding each other and such right before like they realize they got robbed. It just makes so much more sense for that to set up for Strange Bedfellows, where Fran's now really drunk. She's worried about her future. She wants to know like what her future is, not only with the family, but also with Maxwell. She ends up in bed with him. Like, it's a whole thing.
So I disagree in some capacity. Okay. I still think Strange Bedfellows should be the finale. I feel like the actual finale episode should have been like third or fourth to the end, where it was like, because it doesn't make any sense for everything to get mugged from the house and then everything's back in the house. So I get why they made it the finale, whether or not they're going to hit on that or not. But I also like it because it's much more direct, that it's like very clear that they're thinking about these things.
Yeah.
And I think it fits in tandem with like everything that we've seen in the season. But that juicy ending to Strange Bedfellows is just perfect for the finale.
Yeah,
it just makes sense.
I love that they have this whole conversation. You know, they wake up in bed together. You know, Niles sets Cece up. It's a beautiful.
I love that. There's like cute like pajama, I don't know what it's called, that like a not lingerie, but like décolletage.
Oh, her nightgown. That's like
nightgown. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word.
Her black nightgown that's clearly just hanging in
Maxwell's fucking closet.
I actually don't think it's a nightgown. Okay. I think that's a slit that you wear underneath the dress.
You don't need to call her that. No, I'm kidding.
I do, and I will, and I'll say it with pride. No, I actually think that's supposed to be her, like her dress.
Under the dress? Thing. Okay, that makes sense.
Which I think that's what they're trying to go for. I don't think it's supposed to be like a nightgown, but like,
could you imagine if she slept in bed with like a giant push-up bra and like a flossy thong that's
in there?
Queen, imagine sleeping in a push-up bra.
You know, okay, I was actually, you know, my mother's going to kill me for this, but I was just talking to my mom about this, and I was saying that, you know, like sometimes I really just like, it is comfortable to wear a bra when you have like bigger boobs, because like it just provides that support. Yeah. And I was like, honestly, it's not that bad to wear a bra to bed sometimes, because I sleep on my side. So the worst part about it is like the underwire.
Though?
Everything's good and bad for you. It's bad for you to wear a bra. It's good for you to wear a bra. I
literally have 5 tampons up my ass right now.
And what? And they're all soaked in vodka.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're not.
But I know people who did that whole thing where they were like, yeah, I put a tampon up my vagina. It was soaked in
in their pussy.
And I was like, I need you, first of all, to take a good hard look in the mirror and say, is this what I want to do with my life? That's just number one.
Do I want to have alcohol poisoning and have the people in the
hospital
gotta
pull
a tampon out my pussy?
Burn your pussy.
Yeah. That's
honestly.
That
burns in my mouth. There's a very specific pH down there that's got to maintain that way.
Girl, that bacteria down there is getting lit.
I just had this like little bacterias like wearing like sunglasses and being like, fuck yeah.
Okay. So I thought this episode was really good. I think my outfit of the episode would absolutely be the yellow dress.
It can't be anything else.
So cute. Who was the actress that was playing Mona?
I forgot. Let me look her up really quickly. And when she does the for me at the very end, I know that is
what she's like known for.
Yeah. Let me just quickly.
Someone that's watching this podcast right now knows
He's
who it is.
screaming.
And it's like, you're fucking stupid, you young bitches.
Right. It's Tyne Daly. She's a big
Sounds
Broadway
familiar.
person. I know that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look her up here too and see.
I'll since I'm already here, I'll talk about my
Oh,
LVP
duh. She was in Cagney and Lacey. She was Lacey.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't know what that is. I have no idea.
It was a comedy series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to talk about my LVP.
Okay.
Since I brought it up, I think my LVP for this episode, for Strange Bedfellows, probably would go to Mona.
Ooh, okay.
And the reason I'm gonna go with Mona is because while she is retiring and she clearly cares for these kids, I don't like the fact,
She only had one kid.
Yeah, she only had one kid. That's true.
Skippy.
But I don't like how she's like projecting all of her problems onto those around her, like Fran. Like, there's a difference between like, oh girl, this is what I'm going through, and be like, oh, you're gonna get there someday. Don't worry, this happens to us. And like worrying Fran. And I also wish Mona was funnier in this episode because like if you're gonna guest star in an episode, you yourself should be funny. I feel like she's just reading the lines.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like she's just getting the lines that she was given. She's saying them, but she's not feeling them as she's saying them. So I felt like some of the stuff she was saying, I was like, this could be really funny if it was like inflected or like there was more pizzazz behind it.
Yeah.
That's what I felt about Mona.
She I can see what you're saying. I thought
she was good in the end, like the end of the episode when she's like, I'm getting married. Like, that was fun. But in the park, I was just like,
well, it's hard when you're reading the lyrics to the song as if it's like you're coming up with the words, being like, I was working in a bridal shop in Flushing, Queens.
I liked that. I think
checked me out.
I liked that part. It's just everything like around it. I felt like everyone was out performing her in every scene that they were in. Like Fran was eating it up at the park. Everyone at the house, even at the finale. And that's me nitpicking for my LVP in this episode. Because I didn't care for it.
She I also know her because she was well, I didn't see this or anything, but I've seen clips and such. She was Mama Rose in Gypsy in like the 80s as and like there's something about the cadence that she does that's very New York that I kind of understand, and there's like a theatrical kind of way to how she's doing it, and she's just talking like this, and it just comes off like it's just I'm reading words off of a paper, and that's it. And that doesn't bother me because I kind of grew up watching that kind of
SNL.
Yeah, like
SNL does that a lot.
They do. And I think it's just like a certain kind of, and you know, when she was Lacey, which is a sitcom, like a crime kind of sitcom, you know, she's a detective and this is how she's probably playing it. She's very New York and, you know, I'm Mama Rose and you're gonna love me for me. And that's what I think she was doing was Gypsy, by the way, which there's that Everything's Coming Up Roses where she's that character sings for me at the very end. It's amazing.
I haven't.
I love that musical. No, you're not.
I was gonna say I haven't seen it. I thought you were gonna judge me because I made that face.
I'm not gonna judge you because
seen it.
I would say most people.
Wait. Is Gypsy the one with Cher? No, I'm thinking of no. I'm thinking of the movie where she's
now I'm fucking judging you. Are you confusing the fact that she has the song Gypsy?
I am. But I'm also thinking of the movie, oh my God, that Cher's in that's iconic. With she's not an actual mermaid, but like it's the three girls. and she's in the bathtub. You know what I'm talking about,
I
though.
do.
Okay. I
just
don't know
can't
why
think
I
of the
can't
name.
remember the name of this fucking movie. I don't know why that's the first thing my mind went to.
Gypsy is a Stephen Sondheim and I think Arthur Laurent's musical. And it's based off of the burlesque dancer from the 20s, Gypsy Rose Lee. And she it's based on her life, and it's about her mother who was a stage mother, and Gypsy's older sister June was the talented one, and her mom wanted her to be like this huge Broadway vaudevillian star that traveled across the country. And she pushed her daughter Louise, who turns into Gypsy. And then it's a whole thing. It's like every other Sondheim musical. It's a little dark, but you have some pitter patter kind of like a patter song kind of thing going on. Regardless, that's not neither here nor there. This isn't a musical theater podcast, although if it was, I'd be fucking crushing it. Anywho, that's where she's from. I think that's probably, long story long, I think that's probably where that comes from. So while it doesn't bother me, I completely understand why it would bother you. Like it kind of take you out of the moment.
Yeah, I mean, and she's also a shit actress. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Good job.
Okay.
I just and then let's move on. No, okay.
You want to talk about shit actresses? Let's talk about the next episode.
Oh my god, the chatter. We have to talk. Wait. I know you didn't want to spend a lot of time on Chatterbox, but I need to spend a bit of time on Chatterbox because first things first, I did some research.
Oh god.
I did some research on the Chatterbox after watching it.
No, I feel like you did it during the Chatterbox because there was a certain type where you fully just stopped watching the screen and you were like on your phone.
That I was checking Twitter. I was like, this shit is boring.
I told you. All right, continue.
Yeah, Chatterbox was awful. So I had to do some research on Tracy Nelson, who plays Mary Ruth. And I was like, there is no way that this woman has a career. Because the acting was so bad. Like, at least in my opinion, I felt like it was so bad.
I feel like her acting is bad because the character's supposed to be,
I guess,
like a bad actor.
That's true. I guess in that sense, she's fine.
She fulfills the assignment, but the assignment isn't one that's going to glorify your career.
That's true. Also, side note, Kim, clearly very racial stereotype of Asian people. That actress, fucking iconic. She is an iconic voice actress. I looked her up, her name, and I was like, oh my God, Lauren Tom, I know that name. She plays Amy Wong in Futurama.
Yep.
She's like number 3 in Codename Kids Next Door. She plays like Min and Connie from King of the Hill. Like, iconic voice actress. But to kind of go back to the actress, oh my God, why am I blanking on her name?
Didn't you just say it was like Tracy or something?
Yes, Tracy Nelson. She's still acting today.
Good for her.
Well, by today I mean 2018. But like
it's 4 fucking years ago.
COVID. Maybe COVID stopped that career growth for her.
2 years before COVID.
She took
she ahead of the curve?
Okay, but wait. Okay. I have to talk about this because there's so much to break down in the Chatterbox. First off, I also looked at potentially why this show didn't happen. Because I was like the
you
spin-off.
had to look into why that happened?
There are so many shows that get spinoffs that should not have been spinoffs. But I wanted to know why this exact reason for a show like The Nanny that is so popular. Typically, a spinoff would be made just because a spinoff could be made, even if it's for one season, so they can make advertisement money off of it. Listen to this shit. So I looked up on the Nanny wiki, which may or may not be true. And this and it says this episode was supposed to be the backdoor pilot for a spinoff show called The Chatterbox. However, CBS decided not to pick it up because it was shit. No, I'm just kidding. They decided not to pick up the show, deeming it too similar to The Nanny. Presumably, since the spinoff, like The Nanny itself, was supposed to be centered around the romantic relationship between a single father and one of his employees. And I'm like, you could clearly see from the fucking, like, are these people stupid? Like, that's what that was my biggest complaint about this episode was like, if you want to do a spinoff of a show, don't make it reflect the show you're spinning off from. That's not how a spinoff works.
God. There's so much about this episode that hurts. Like, it hurts to watch it. I don't know why anybody would want to watch that show. It's cringy as fuck. It like you already know where the story goes, so who cares about watching it? You're not invested in any of the characters.
Yep.
The one gay guy is sassy and funny, but like that's it.
He was poorly cast. I'm sorry.
Super
like
poorly cast.
You're gonna convince. I don't know.
You're gonna use the same kid actor from like earlier this season, who was supposed to be the kid actor who like blows Mr. Sheffield off to go do a movie.
Yeah, and then like, Mr. Anthony literally looks like a 40-year-old man trying to act like he is this young hot thing that owns a beauty salon. I was like, this man's got a receding hairline. Like,
this man is hitting on a 16-year-old girl.
Yes.
In a really creepy way. And there's also like just the way that they use I forgot what the actress's name is, the Asian actress.
Lauren Tom.
It is just so fucking racist. Like, it is so racist. There's everything about this episode is like at best tokenism and at worst just overt racism, like horrible.
So let me tell you how Chatterbox could have happened in a successful way.
Okay.
First off, Kim, you need to give her an obnoxious New York accent. Mm-hmm. Drop the racial stereotype. She can still do nails. She can still do nails in the salon. But imagine a very sassy, very like in your face New Yorker that does nails. And instead of her being like really good at it, being like, yeah, well, here's your fucking nails. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you know, that kind of like girl. Yeah. Hilarious. Like, they could have done something with that. There's nothing like that in The Nanny. There's a lot to play around with there. Second, Mr. Anthony. Obviously, he can still be a sex symbol. They needed to recast him. Don't give him a son. Give him a daughter. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like having the super broiness between a son and a father, we already kind of get that from The Nanny. We need something that's like maybe because like Brighton and the dad, I don't know.
This would be playing much more prevalent than what we see Brighton and Mr. Sheffield do, and that brosome is very different than what we would see.
Okay, then maybe keep it. But what I think needed to happen is the main character, whatever her face was, Mary Ruth, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Who the fuck makes your like lead character's name Mary Ruth?
And who gives her that fucking outfit? That was abysmal. I'm sorry. She dressed like she was a 12-year-old going to fucking elementary school or like middle school or something.
It was so bad.
But
it was so bad.
Instead of making her like a failed actress, make her someone that just moved to New York.
She did.
No, but listen. Instead of her moving to New York in order to like, because it's a big shiny spot, I want her to come in with literally no knowledge and have all these like obnoxious takes on what New York is and have them actually be true based off of what she sees in the pilot. So she's just like, I heard this place is like super gross and grimy, and then like have something super gross and grimy happen. It's just, but she always sees like the positive nature in things because to her, New York is like bright, shining light.
So like the gross and grimy thing happens behind her while she's looking at the shiny thing or something like that.
Like to her, New York is like this pillar of everything. And I feel like there was aspects of that character in here.
Yeah.
But then like the other characters bring it back down to reality and like, girl, New York is gross. Like New York is disgusting. Like
one of the things that just reminds me of is in my favorite musical, which is Company, another Sondheim musical. there's a character named April, and she's one of these girlfriends that the main character has, and she is really dumb. And her thing is, she's like, and she knows it. She's like, I'm not very smart. And one of the things she said was, I'm really dumb. And he goes, no, I'm sure you're not. She goes, no, really. I moved to New York, moving from Shaker Heights. And I really wanted to go to this place. I heard about Radio City and I thought, I'm going to move there. And so she moved to New York because she thought that's where
that's
Radio
funny.
City is, like that kind of thing. But like that's the kind of thing that I feel like this character, like what you're saying, could have like worked
because
really well.
She goes from like they don't know what to do with her. She goes from like I want to be an actress really bad, but she's really bad at being an actress. So already you're like not rooting for her because you're like, okay, clearly you're going for something you're not going to ever get.
Yeah.
And then she's not a likable character.
No.
The nanny has to get her a job.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she's at the job, she like constantly is trying to like disrupt the flow of everything, which is fine. I get that. But then she just goes back to begging again. So I'm like, well, there's nothing to like about you. Like you've not given you, there's no rootable, redeemable quality about you.
So if you had to rate this episode,
this episode was a 1 out of 10.
You gave it a point. Wow.
I gave it a point because Yetta fucking turned it out.
Yetta and Sylvia are it.
Honestly, it's a 2 out of 10. And that's only if you go back and you rewatch the Yetta and Sylvia scenes and just
where they're putting the tip in his thing. It's so funny.
I love when Yetta comes out from the bikini wax.
And she's like rubbing the
You satisfied me.
I love them fumes. They give me a little buzz. They're so good. But that's my point. Like the amount of times we paused while we watched this episode because I was like, it's painful. Like I need a break for a second. And it also doesn't help that both of us had headaches. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh God. It's like we were like 12 minutes in. I'm like, it feels like an hour.
It really did. This definitely felt like the longest episode out of the three. And I also think it's because the plot structure is a mess.
It's horrible.
If the point of the episode was to make Mr. Anthony understand that his ex-girlfriend, baby mama, means something to his son, I was like, that's not a plot. Like that's like there needs to be something more there than that. And it was not good. And I'm glad it didn't get picked up.
Yeah.
So on to the next episode. I'm not even going to give an MVP and LVP. It's not even a real episode.
Yeah.
We're not even going to acknowledge it.
I think the LVP is CBS for allowing that to happen.
LVP, Sylvia, a CVS. You know what? If I had to get an MVP, it's still Yetta. Yetta made it the only entertaining part. And the nanny storyline was great. Honestly, like I loved all of the moments that the nanny was in there with the wig when she comes out with the wig and he is horny. He is horny for that wig.
His dick was hard.
Also, she rocked that shit. I thought she looked better in that wig than she did
Maggie looked so bad in it though.
Oh my God. I was like, you look like, do you remember that era in like the early 2000s when they had those shitty spy films that had like the lead actress and there was like 10 of them and they all wore that shitty bob wig?
Yeah, that was it.
There was like Ultraviolet and there was like all of those types of shows and there was like 10 of them and they all are generically the same.
It's incredible.
Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. That's what the vibe is getting. Okay. On to the season finale.
Fran gets mugged. Okay. Start off. What is your episode rating?
I'm going to rate this episode probably a 9 out of 10. I still thought it was a really good episode, despite it not really feeling like a finale.
Yeah.
And I really think if I didn't give Niles my MVP in this episode, I would give it to Brighton because that fucking kid is acting his ass off in this show. And honestly, every time Brighton's in a scene, I am laughing my ass off. I don't care. He is the male version of Yetta for me for this season or for like all of season 2, because I'm not joking. Any scene Brighton is in, I know it's going to be really funny. or it's going to be about his puberty. And as a guy, I can relate to like a kid going through puberty. So for me, it's like relatable, but because I'm still going through puberty. I'm only 16. But it's
the way you said that. As a guy, I could relate to a kid going through puberty.
Because I'm 16, clearly. I'm young.
My favorite line from this, I don't know why it gets me every time, is when he's like, Fran, I should have defended you more. I'm so sorry. And she's like, Brighton, all you did was fall on the ground, puke, and pee your pants.
and then she falls out and says, so you fit in with Central Park.
But I don't even care about the Central Park line. It's just like they keep escalating what Brighton did, because it starts off with him just being like, oh, you fell down and you fainted. And then the next thing you know, like we don't see this, but apparently he puked, because the police officer comes and goes, are you the guy who fainted and puked? And Mr. Sheffield's like, no, that was him. And then she's like, all you did was faint, puke, and pee in your pants.
I love it.
That line kills me every time.
It's so good. No, I thought this episode was really great, and the storyline was awesome. I do think like it loses a bit of steam in the early-ish parts after the mugging, but then it picks back up once we realize like where the story is going. I just love the idea that he has willed a piece of a Shakespearean manuscript and doesn't have it framed immediately. Like it's just sitting on a desk.
I can't believe he would leave his office and like just leave it on his desk. Like that means like weird. When you put it away, like this is something that you're auctioning off or donating. I mean, like, especially because like he's not even donating it because he wants to. He's donating it to make himself look good in front of a room full of people. So. Yeah.
And I think my favorite scene in this entire episode is Cece attempting to kill Fran.
Oh, that's iconic. That's iconic.
Something about Cece bending over, showing her ass to the audience, but acting her ass off and you can't see her face is
her
the
feet
best.
Going like this. My favorite part about that is there's no new motions that Fran or her do for a solid 30 seconds. She's just holding the pillow and Fran's just going with her arms and she's just moving forward with her feet on the ground in like
it's so good.
And then just like Maxwell's just sitting there up against the desk like watching it.
He was into it.
Yeah, he was into it. He was actually I think he was imagining stuff.
Yeah, he was looking at Cece's ass and he's like, wait a minute, I haven't seen this now.
What if I got in between them? Sir, what if they found the person who did the perpetrator? Oh, fuck. Okay, get me out of it.
Yeah. I also thought that the comedy in this was great. I was laughing throughout. I was like actually laughing out loud at several of the scenes. And I think the ending kind of confirms the route we're going for season 3. But I'll give my thoughts on where I think season 3 is going in our recap next week.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. What is your outfit of the episode for this one?
My outfit for the episode would definitely be the zebra dress suit that she wears, though I almost wanted to give it to her black
the pajamas
dress. No. She has that. It's like a black and white zebra.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay.
I really like that. I almost gave it to her she wears in the final scene. Mm-hmm. That like beautiful. It like shows her
cocktail dress. That's so gorgeous.
Oh my God. Her tits were so hot in that dress. But I would probably give it to the zebra print dress like suit thing that she wears, just because I feel like it would work today. Like I think that is very cute and in right now.
You know,
I'm also a fashion expert, so
absolutely. You know who I think actually had, in my opinion, one of the best outfits was Maggie. Had that like super cute, like white and pink outfit when she's taking Gracie to ballet class and Fran's.
Oh, that is cute.
It was like kind of like knit here, but the sweater portion over it was like super cute and fashionable. It was fit well. The skirt was just so cute. Like it was fashionable. It was
It
cute and adorable,
was.
but it was also like really beautiful. Like I don't know. I really
No,
love
I thought that was a really cute dress too. I was actually like super excited to see Fashion Maggie again because we haven't gotten her in a while.
it.
We
Mhm.
got her a lot at the beginning of season 2, but
Yeah.
in the middle, she was giving us thrift store, and not
She
in a
was
cute
giving
way.
us, I'm not in the episode.
That too. Also Gracie was in there for a bit in a tutu. And
Leg warmers.
she Grace or she Grace. She did really well acting, I felt like,
Mhm.
in the one scene that she was in.
Mhm.
But girl, we're gonna have conversations next week about
We don't
Gracie.
talk about Gracie.
We don't talk about Gracie, Gracie,
no.
grow. And Kanto, very good.
I haven't seen it.
Probably in my top 5 favorite Pixar movies, but it would be number 5, and it would be
Okay.
interchangeable with Toy Story 3.
Oh, Toy Story 3 fucked me up in the feels.
I think that's why it's not in my top 5, is it makes me too emotional. Like, I don't like a Pixar movie
I
that
get
makes me
too emotional instead of so
yeah,
too
like
emotional, baby.
it like I don't want a Pixar movie that makes me cry too much because then I
Yeah.
don't want to go back and rewatch it. I want a Pixar movie that's like so good that I'm like, you know what? Let's put this back on. But that's
Yeah.
why it's number 6 for me is Toy Story 3.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Up is
Welcome to this Pixar podcast, everyone.
honestly though. Very cool. So I'm excited to wrap up the season with your thoughts and takes next week. And we're going to do a Lost and Nanny combo for that on Thursday. And then this week we're watching the finale of Lost.
And you are not prepared for what you are about to experience.
I want to set the scene for everybody for what this is going to be like for me. Okay. Tomorrow, I will be traveling and leaving my apartment at 8:30 in the morning. I will be finally arriving on campus around 6 p.m. at night. Okay. Between trains and driving. I haven't even looked at the weather. I'm sure I'm going to drive through some shit because that is upstate New York in the middle of winter. I'm going to check into this hotel. It's going to be Valentine's Day. I'm not going to see any of my friends tomorrow when I get up there. So I'm going to be alone in a hotel in the town I used to live in before I moved down there on my college campus, essentially, and be decompressing. And then I'm going to watch the finale episode of Lost. And then we're going to record on Tuesday. And I'm going to spend the entire day working and just thinking about the finale.
Yes,
I'm
that's
already,
exactly it.
I guess.
That's exactly what's going to happen. It's a 2-part finale. If anyone's listening to this and you only watched The Nanny and have not watched Lost before, highly recommend, even if you have never seen Lost, to maybe just watch some of the iconic scenes from season 2. I'm sure there's videos out there that you can find, but it's so beneficial to just like get a feel for Lost because, like The Nanny, it was such an iconic moment in television that went on to inspire other shows in the genre, much like The Nanny has, where there are so many sitcoms that emulated what The Nanny was after the fact, especially in the early 2000s, when like sitcoms were huge in the early 2000s. And likewise, with Lost revolutionized what it meant to have a show tackle sci-fi in such a way while focusing on characters. Because
it was
typically
sci-fi mixed with your typical drama at night.
Yes.
You know, like you would tune into your drama. In the same way, what I love about when I think about Lost from like a cultural standpoint at the time that it was on, even though I didn't watch it, I was watching Desperate Housewives, and both of those shows at basically the same time completely changed the game. They were on the same network. And
they were. And they cross advertised a lot. between
Absolutely.
Desperate
And
Housewives and
that's
Lost.
why I think I remember like, oh, this character was on there. Or I remember I was really into award shows then. So I remember which actors were showing up or like little scenes that they would show for like clips before like the winner was announced or something.
And if you're a fan of Once Upon a Time, you will see the same formula of Lost in Once Upon a Time because a lot of the writers went on from Lost to do Once Upon a Time. A lot of the actors who are in Lost ended up doing Once Upon a Time.
Can we
same
talk?
network, same
We
family.
need to discuss something.
Yes, about how they flopped Once Upon a Time after season 4.
Oh my! I don't know. When they went to Neverland, that just fucked it all.
Girl, it's so
bad.
When they introduced Frozen,
that far. I didn't even get that far.
I'm not even kidding you. And this is my conspiracy theory for Once Upon a Time. The season before Frozen. Let me just see. I need to let the viewers know.
Oh God. I stopped watching halfway through the season where they were in Neverland.
Okay. So season 3. I feel like the writers meant for the finale of season 3 to be the legitimate finale of the show.
Okay.
It's a perfect send-off for all the characters. It's a perfect, like, maybe in the future we could revisit these characters if we wanted to. And I felt like they had pressure from ABC because Frozen was such a successful franchise that they said we need to incorporate Frozen into Once Upon a Time because we need to ride the wave. Because remember, Frozen wasn't everything because it was making so much money. So the 4th season, when you watch, I'm sorry, I know we're supposed to be talking about the Nanny. I'm talking about Once Upon a Time right now. But like the 4th season literally makes no sense. Like they rewrite the background of significant characters in the show to fit into this Frozen timeline. And then the show just gets worse after that. Like it's so bad.
You know, okay, 2 things. 1, my original point was going to be, how dare they take the actress who plays Claire and make her a brunette in that fucking show? Because she looks awful.
Ugly. She's so ugly.
Also, that was not the role for her.
I
hated the whole Belle Rumple thing. That was
so dumb.
It was so bad. But the other thing I was going to say, just because you brought up Once Upon a Time, my Facebook memories the other day.
Oh God.
When I was watching a lot, I was catching up on Once Upon a Time. So I'd watch like, I don't know, about 4 or 5 episodes in a row. And it was like season 1 or 2 that I was watching. Because this was like 2012 or 13, right?
Yeah.
And I wrote, I'm seeing everybody's statuses about the snowstorm and people just writing snow. And I just hear it in Prince Charming's voice going, snow.
Talk about ruining 2 characters in a show is Prince Charming and Snow White.
Are they still together?
By the end?
No, I'm in real life. Sorry.
They dated in real life?
Yeah, they were married. I don't know if they're
okay.
Still
Wait. I gotta look this up.
Jennifer
Sorry.
Goodman and Josh Dallas, I think, are the 2 actors.
Okay. I'm looking him up.
Yeah, she's still married. They got married in 2014.
Oh, Josh Dallas is so yummy.
Yeah, he was cute. He's almost like too pretty though.
Yes, agreed. The last thing he was in it was in 2018. Oh my God, it's a theme. They all stopped acting in 2018.
Jennifer Goodwin didn't. She was just in something. Maybe he's a stay-at-home dad. We'd like that.
I love that. But yeah, welcome everyone to our podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. It helps us out tremendously. And consider subscribing to our YouTube channel if you want the video versions of this podcast, though we love and respect those that listen to us in audio only. We see you, we see the numbers, we see that you're listening, and we appreciate you. And also consider leaving us a comment on the YouTube videos. We do read them. We don't always respond because we're super busy in our day-to-day lives, but we do read them. So we appreciate all of the opinions.
Yes, and we do text each other. Oh my God, did you see this comment?
We really do. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you next week with the season 2 recap of The Nanny and Lost, as well as this Thursday with our recap of Lost season 2 finale.
It's gonna be good.
But so yeah, like bye.
Toodles.